Shalom, Yasharallah. This is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, on pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick topic real fast, dealing with, alongside with these here protests, what you're really seeing is really the downfall of Esau all the way around. Now, we keep saying that a lot of this stuff is being set up by Esau to push along that Revelation 12 and 12. The devil know he had, he's coming down with great wrath because he has but a short time, which all of this is playing into him trying to set up his new world order agenda. All right. But simultaneously at the end, what you have to understand is Esau isn't moving on his own. He is also a tool of the Most High. All right. He's being directed by the Lord. All right. Let me grab that real fast. Where is that? Proverbs 21:1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whereversoever he will. All right. So basically, when you're dealing with these moves that these Edomites are making, all right, this is all ultimately set up by the Most High. All right. So let me get back to Jeremiah. One of the other things I wanted to point out was the fact of the matter, you've seen them going around right now is calling for the removal of a lot of these slave owner statues, a lot of these old Edomite statues, and in a lot of places they're actually tearing these statues down and dragging them through the streets. All right. But nevertheless, this is all, this whole image of Edomite supremacy and so on and so forth. This is all being torn down right inside of your eyes, man. All right. These idols, these things that people bow down to, these ideologies. When you hear about these people talking about, when they say remove the Confederate flag or these statues, these Edomites always come out and say, oh, that's a part of our history. This is a part of what, so on and so forth. When you go a little further deeper into it, it's part of their beliefs. All right, my forefathers fought for this. These are images letting us know that we're in power, so on and so forth. All right, but now the Most High is tearing this here imagery down, man. All right, Esau is being exposed as the devil, man. All right. In fact, let me grab two more precepts real quick that just came to mind. Okay. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. Let me just get to the point. 2 Thessalonians 2:8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right. And so this is how the wicked is being revealed through the mouths of the prophets. All right. We've been putting this in vibration out about the Edomites and their atrocities and so on and so forth. All right. Verse 9, even him who is coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish. All right. Because they teach you about these people in school, man. Your Christopher Columbus and all your so-called founding fathers, all right? But they all founded this land off of rape, robbery, and murder and the oppression of you Israelites, all right? It says, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, all right? Verse 11, and for this cause the Most High shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And going into some of our people at this point in time, they want to walk back, hand in hand with these people and so on and so forth and make excuses to why Jake isn't, why these things are happening to Jake. Yeah, we know Jake ain't perfect. When you listen to us, we tell you about 2/3 of our own people are wicked, man. But that don't excuse the things that Esau's been doing into us, man. You had this one chick, I think her name is Candace Owen, talking about how this George Floyd guy was a career criminal and so on and so forth. Okay, you can go into his past. Well, what about these Edomites' past? What about the cop that choked him out about killing multiple people beforehand and all these different things about him beforehand? So you want to ignore those facts, but then you want to just come and attack your own people, all right? But see, the Most High is giving you over to this strong delusion that you're going to believe a lie. So people just like her is going to get mowed down by the people that she's fighting to save and to uphold that same imagery and so on and so forth. Same way with these people that want to uphold this here so-called racist system, man. All right, this Edomite supremacy system, these rebel flags, these statues, their forefathers, all right? In fact, let me grab that. Isaiah 14:21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. All right. They are their fathers, first of all, through reincarnation. But nevertheless, their forefathers, these people that they got these statues up and so on and so forth, they want to keep these statues up, but they don't realize this is a curse unto them, man. It says, prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquity of their fathers. All right. So, hey, those same statues of your forefathers that you want to uphold and so on and so forth, you got to pay the price for that, man. All right. That they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right. Look, verse 22, for I will raise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew, saith Yahweh. All right, so going into these things, verse 23, and I will also make it a possession for the bitter and the pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. Hey man, the Lord's going to remove all these statues, these idols up out of this place, you know, the oppression of Jake out here, man. All right, I forgot that other precept that came to mind. Lord willing, if it come back to me, I'll bring it out. But let me go back over to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, though. All right, Jeremiah 50:1, it says, the word that of Yahweh that spake against Babylon, which is America, and against the land of the Chaldees by Jeremiah the prophet. So all these places where these Edomites are at, man. All right. Verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. And publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken and Bel is confounded. And that's what we've been doing, man. Babylon, hey, this is the end of Babylon, man. This is the end of these Edomites' rulership, all right? And that's what we've been on the highways and the byways doing and putting these videos up, all right? So it says, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. All right, so are you, right now you're witnessing, you know, their soothsayers, you know, all their wicked, you know, sorcery and all this stuff is starting to fall upon them, because part of their sorcery is what? The media and how they paint this picture against us in the media or whatever, whatnot, you know? They always paint us as thugs and retarded or whatever, whatnot, so on and so forth. But guess what? They the ones came out with this media. They the ones that came out with the slander of painting people in these different lights or whatever, whatnot. They the ones that decided that we all needed smartphones with cameras on there so that they can watch us all the time. But guess what? Those eyes are now on them. All right, so now you're starting to see their own witchcraft falling upon them. But also these seer statues that they would put up to keep us in order and to remind them how they got here or whatever, whatnot. Now these things are being taken out of place. All right. Hey, the same thing going into verse 3. For out of the north there shall come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, and they shall depart, both man and beast. So ultimately, these Russians are about to come over here and clean this here place up. But the point I wanted to make was the fact that their idols were confounded and their images are broken, man. All right, this is what it's going around to, man. All their things that uphold them as these so-called superior Edomites, their whole facade is being broken down at this here moment, all right? This is, man, I'm going to read quite a bit of this. This is Isaiah 2:11, starting at 11. I could actually go up to, I think, 8. Yeah. Really, I could go up to a whole lot of this, but never. Let's start at 7. Isaiah 2:7. Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there end of any of their chariots. Their land is also full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, which their own fingers have made. That's what you see here in America, man. Hey, that flag, you know, you got to stand for the flag, the Pledge of Allegiance, Statue of Liberty, and all these so-called founding fathers. You can't call them what they are. You can't call them terrorists, man, and thieves and murderers, because they'll look at you all funny. They'll call you treasonous or participating in treason. Verse 9, and the mean man bowed down, and the great man humbled himself. Therefore forgive them not. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, and fear Yahweh and the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, saith Yahweh. Oh, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. And that's what you're starting to see right now. This is the climate of things going on right now. You have a lot of these Edomites now. You know, I can give a brief testimony. You know, throughout my work week, I work for a lot of Edomites, but nevertheless, I only got a couple clients. But a lot of these Edomites are coming out, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just their countenance is all like so-called humbled now. They want to make sure I'm all right and make sure I got food, water, and everything else, coming out giving tips. They trying to say the poor shall they should seek to please the poor, and also a gift destroyeth the heart. But nevertheless, a lot of these people now are coming out, and like I had a couple weeks ago, one of these Edomites leaving out of his house, pulled out in the driveway, happened to stop his damn truck, get out, come out, talk to me, and start crying, talking about he don't know what's going on and how I feel about these things, because it's inside their spirit. They now seeing Jake is roused up, and it ain't no putting them back to sleep, man. All right. Verse 12, for the day of the Lord, for the day of Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and the lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up shall be brought low. Going into these Edomites. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up. Going into these different nations, they were all proud. But guess what? What's going on around the whole world right now in all these different nations? All right, you have Jake, people, well, not necessarily just Jake. You had the whole world marching and protesting over the brutality of Jake, man, the oppression of Jake, man. All right. And upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols shall be utterly abolished. All right. And so this is basically what's going on right now, man. Their idols are being cast down. This image of Edomite supremacy, like in the 2nd Ezra chapter 6, say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So now you're seeing the Lord is starting to destroy their idols, their imagery, all the things that's holding them up and propagating them as the so-called rulers of this planet is all being destroyed, man. Verse 20. In that day shall a man cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and to the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of Yahweh and the glory of his majesty, when he shall arise to shake terribly the earth. Cease you, man, from whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? You know, because, hey, this is ultimately going into when they're about to go into these doomsday bunkers, all right, which they had to just talk about that, you know, at the beginning of all this, man, because they know that the end is coming, man, all right? This is Micah 1:7. It says, all the graven images thereof shall be beaten into pieces, and all the hires thereof shall be burned with the fire, and all the idols thereof will I lay desolate, for she gathered it of the hire of a harlot, and they shall return to the hire of the harlot. All right, so going back into this here situation over here, man, you know, not only did Esau put up, you know, these so-called founding fathers or whatever, whatnot, but not just that, but you also have like these images of so-called Jesus and the Catholic Church and all these different things they kept here to, how do I say, brainwash our people with, man. All right, you know, I was watching the Apostles video, their camp, basically. You know, you had this Northern Kingdom Jake come up, and, you know, he was kind of in the spirit. You know, he was like, nah, I don't want to hear about Joseph and Mary and the Immaculate Birth. And so, you know, that Catholicism bullshit that they got going on. So you even seeing this is, you know, and the Northern Kingdom is heavy into that. But you're seeing all this here being broken down, man. All right, all this imagery or whatever, whatnot, man. You're seeing a lot of these celebrities and all these other people now coming away from that so-called Christianity and talking about we're the chosen people. Now, on the Breakfast Club, you had Charlemagne the God talking about some, you know, somebody say, oh, when he's eating, might say, oh, we're all God's people, we're all God's children, which is bullshit. I mean, you know, scripture do say we all come from Adam in a certain sense, but then, you know, Charlemagne wound up making a point like, yeah, we all are God's children, but some of us descend from, when he said, you know, Yaakov, you know, but never talking about Jacob, you know, talking about we're the Israelites. You know, they know these things, man. All right. But nevertheless, you're seeing more and more of our people waking up to that image, that standard of who we were. All right. Not looking at ourselves as a so-called black person, or that's the image, man. The image that Esau done painted against us, man. All right. But all these imagery and all these idols are being dismantled right before your eyes, whether they be physical statues and symbols or whether they be mental strongholds. All these things are being broken down before your eyes right now, man. All right. One more, I'm going to close out. This is Zechariah 13:1-2. It says, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanliness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall be no more remembered. I will also cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land. All right, so, hey, man, the Most High is starting to clean this here place up, man. And again, like I said, not only the physical ones, but the mental and the spiritual ones, these images, man. All right, you have a lot of our people coming out of these black churches and leaving away from Christianity and this ideology and from voting and, you know, all these different things, these ideologies, these things that people were standing up for, this so-called black on black crime, all these narratives and all these different things, you know, because these are all symbols that stand for something, man. These are all strongholds and stumbling blocks that they put in front of our people, man. All right, you know, going to school and having to learn about Thomas Jefferson and all these people, all these folks, man. It's all the image that they put inside of your mind, man. All right, or the founding fathers, even that title, instead of calling them terrorists, who they were, barbers, you know, barbarians, savages. This is who these people really were, man. But they didn't teach you that, man. They put an image into your head that these people were, you know, high and mighty and holier than thou, you know. But nevertheless, these images are all coming out, you know, or being all broken down, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.